I'm going to try. Let's see. Looks like I can still pin comments. We'll see. Pin. Okay. Hello, friends.
Welcome to the marvelous world of people who aren't tech wizards.
That's right. Okay, I found the live stream here. I'm enlarging it. Swipe left. There are the comments. There are 11 people watching with us. Oh boy. Okay. Hello, everyone. Oh, let me plug the phone in. Let's not even talk about what's just gone down until after our first tune.
Okay.
Okay, does it look like this is going to work out? On the feed there?
Hope so.
Okay. Welcome to another installment of our online Old Time Jam.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, this is our first one of 2025, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, there are enough people here with us now, 26 according to the iPad over here. We're having some technical difficulties tonight. When I got ready to set up the camera position by doing a test live stream, I discovered that at least in my Facebook app, Beth's was different. She's got an older phone though, maybe that's what's going on. They've removed the ability to flip the image if you're using the screen-facing camera, which is the one that we always use because we can watch what's going on the camera. We thought better to use the other camera and have us facing the right way than for us to look like we're playing left-handed. Right? But that means we're using the camera, not the screen camera, so we've got a mirror positioned behind my phone, and the view is all different, so I'm sorry you're not going to be able to see our hands up as close as usual. I hope Facebook brings that magic wand icon back for live streaming, or that I can get to it somehow. I don't know. Never a dull moment with e-technology, right? We're jamming in the key of C. We're going to play a familiar tune to start, and then we'll talk a little bit more about how the evening is going to evolve. Hope you're all jamming along with us. Beth's going to start without capo on. That won't always be true. I'm going to keep my fiddle in the standard tuning the whole time. If you're on the banjo, I highly recommend the double C tuning. Our first tune of the evening is Texas Gals, right? see and hear well enough out there. Let us know if you need anything. Nice to see folks tuning in.
Yeah.
Peter Bell, hello.
Hey, Peter Bell.
Sandy Parks, hello.
Sandy.
Molly Mason, hi Molly. Love Jay's and your music. Honored that you're here with us for a little while. All right, so some housekeeping matters. Since it's a new year, since it's been a little time between jams here, we thought we'd kind of review the purpose of these jams. These are not concerts.
They're not classes.
They're not classes either. If they were concerts, we certainly wouldn't be staying in C for the whole evening, right?
Oh, no. No.
And they're not classes. I mean, we're going to provide some information about the tunes to a limited extent. We're going to provide information about playing the tunes to a somewhat less limited extent, but we're not teaching tunes. That's not really the point.
Right.
We're trying to include a mixture of tunes that are in wider circulation and tunes that aren't in such wide circulation, but also aren't super weird and kind of impossible to figure out on the fly, because we hope to give you as realistic an old-time jam experience as is possible in this particular format.
Right, and we just wanted to address a couple of things. Number one, in terms of requests, we're happy to do requests. We can't do them on the fly. If you have
we practice ahead of time.
We practice a lot ahead of time. I'm not sure if you could tell, but we do. And so we need, and also we need to know the tune is another thing. And if it's one we don't know, perhaps we could learn it, you know, as time goes on. But we do, we're happy to consider requests. Just send it to us on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, message us ahead of time or between jams whenever ideas occur to you. We kind of keep a running list of jam possibilities.
Right, so yeah, we do, and we're happy to do it. This is actually we're starting our 4th year of these jams.
Hard to imagine.
Hard to imagine. And we're very proud to say that we have only repeated the same tune,
on two occasions.
On 2 occasions.
We repeated Breaking Up Christmas for a holiday jam intentionally, and we repeated randomly the Boatman song totally unintentionally. We try to make every jam list unique.
Yeah, we try. So, and with that in mind, I'm going to say something about that in a minute, but to continue with the thing about how we're going to structure these things, we don't provide the list of tunes ahead of time because we want you to see this as a jam session that you would come into not knowing what's going to be played.
Right.
And it's to give you the opportunity to figure it out on the fly. That was the entire point. That and giving you an opportunity to have someone to play with when you don't have anybody in your area to play with. So, and one of you might say, well, you know, I would really like to prep or prepare ahead of time. But the thing is that if you go to Clifftop, for example, and you go to a jam session here and a jam session there, whatever, you're going to find one fiddler who's going to play the tune in his way, and then you're going to go to jam number 2, and that fiddler's going to play it in her way. And it sometimes they're the same tune, but they barely resemble each other.
Right.
We've had that experience in which we have taught a tune that's dear to us to someone who's asked to learn it, and 2 years later they come back and say, let's play that tune you taught us, and they start into it, and it's like
unrecognizable.
What is that tune you're playing?
Right.
So it's the point is to give you the opportunity to learn on the fly.
Yeah.
To take the information you already have. We will show you so you can feel more confident, to go to jams where you might encounter some of these tunes. But we don't, as in it's not a class,
Right.
and to give you the opportunity to prepare for future jams with real people in live, not this big. Then that's why we don't provide the list, the tune list ahead of time.
Right, because no matter how much prep you might aim to do with such a list, who knows whether our versions will match up, and then all of that prep you did would have gone to waste.
Right, and it's good for developing ear training and all those kind of things. So that's basically what we wanted to say about that.
Yeah.
Now, one other thing I wanted to say that thanks to our friend Tony Krendler.
Hi, Tony.
Is he
if
here?
You're out there.
If he's here. Tony did us a marvelous favor. He went through all of the jam videos and he wrote down the tune names, what key they were in, which jam we did them in, and where they start.
Yeah, the time marker.
The time markers. So, bless his heart, he did that. So I have created a list that describes this information. Spreadsheet style list and stuff. And if you are interested in this, the good thing is that you would have the list. The downside,
you could see if we played such and such tune in our series, and where it was.
Right, and when we did it and stuff. The downside is that we cannot label the videos on Facebook.
Yeah, they're all just archived in my photo and video albums, unfortunately, in chronological order, but there are no captions available. So you still have to kind of click through. So that's the
downside, but at least if you know that you're looking for such and such tune, and it does tell you, which, what the marker is for it, you can go look at that marker on whatever video you're looking at. We try to make it a little easier for y'all to deal with, but as you can see, Facebook bumfuddles us nearly every other time we do this. So anyway, so the point is if you would like a copy of this in PDF form, send me your email address on Facebook Messenger, please, not in the comments, and send me a message, and I will try to email it to you as quickly as I can do it.
Might be possible to send a PDF through Messenger, we can see.
Yeah.
But include your email address just to be safe.
I haven't tried it, but if you're interested in getting a copy of that. So, is that, let me see, another thing to talk about?
For housekeeping?
For housekeeping.
We've got tip jar links pinned to the comment thread. No pressure there. These are great excuses for us to get a list of tunes in practice, but they're there just in case you're interested.
See if there are any questions.
Okay, and if not, we'll just get going again. And yes, remember, if you're struggling to follow along on the fly here, if there are too many unfamiliar tunes or the tempos are too far up or whatever, since these jams are archived on my page for later use, the archived version gives you access to the pause button and the rewind button. So you could just loop an A part of an unfamiliar tune a bunch of times around if you don't mind pressing pause and rewind every now and then, and really zero in on the details.
Any other questions?
I think that's probably it. No questions so far.
Okay.
So
thanks for putting up with the housekeeping.
That's right.
It's the first of the year.
First of the year. Gotta start off on the right foot. We're going to play a special version of Gray Eagle now that doesn't sound at all like all of those key of A Gray Eagles. This comes from Marcus Martin of North Carolina originally, but we were introduced to it through Foghorn's wonderful recording of it, the Foghorn String Band, from one of their early CDs, like maybe a 20-year-old CD at this point. We like it a whole lot. Fiddlers out there, this is the first of several tunes here that I feel more comfortable playing a portion of in second position. The B part works way better for me if I scoot the index up to where the middle finger used to sit. This tune's B part happens to have a high C note, so I can access that note without having to slide or shift up to get it, and there's nothing else going on in the B part below that spot. So you can shift up and stay up there if you want, or you can do it in first position, whatever you like.
Oh, and one thing I wanted to say is that it's very unusual in that instead of going as it sounds in your head to the 5, it goes to the 4.
Right, in the middle of the A part.
And I can guarantee you, if I make it through this whole tune without messing that up one time, it's going to be good. So in practice, I might yet not messed it up.
That's okay.
So, but it is always supposed to go to the 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Not to worry. This casual tune, it's just a jam session, remember?
Right.
of ways we can chord these
lots
things.
of ways to chord. And the thing is that it's not wrong. The places where I wasn't playing it, where we wanted to go, it wasn't wrong. But what he wanted in this tune was for me to go to the 4 and then go to the 5 much more quickly than what was going on in my head.
Right.
And even though we practiced this all week, it's still, you know. So if you were going to play this tune with other people, if you went to the 5 more frequently, it wouldn't be wrong.
Right.
But it's not what you want out of this tune.
Right.
So that's the kind of thing we're talking about. You got to learn to suss out, you know, what's going on.
Yeah, I like a little bit smoother sound of the longer duration chord changes, and not as many of them.
Right.
But the other way isn't wrong, as
Right.
you just heard.
Right.
I should say too. So I like to do my homework as much as I can, and even though Foghorn really was our introduction to this version, I looked for the Marcus Martin recording. Slippery Hill had it. Thank you very much. And I found his B part pretty darn inscrutable. I mean, it's kind of what we played, it's kind of what Foghorn played, but I'm grateful to Sammy Lynn for interpreting the B part as he did and turning it into a tune that I could actually kind of learn. And I've learned tunes off of Marcus Martin's recordings, but I think I would have maybe moved on had that been my only recorded reference for the Gray Eagle. All right, Beth is getting ready to switch guitars. She will go back to the uncapoed guitar at the very end, but these intermediate tunes she's going to play with the capo at the 5th fret. That's an unusual choice for old-time guitar, but we see it done an awful lot by bluegrass guitarists who are backing up tunes or songs so that they can use that really strong and powerful G shape. And Beth knows how to do all kinds of cool things out of G position, so that's kind of a wonderful thing. Plus it has this really beautiful sparkling sound that high above the sometimes rather low fiddle melodies.
And another reason that I'm choosing to use it more in this jam than open is because there are going to be several tunes that are going to have 2 chords and a minor chord, and in a couple of them there's going to be a 3 chord, and so it's easier to play those chords with the capo here.
Yes.
So than in C position.
Yeah, for you anyway.
Right.
But if you guitarists out there want to stay open, that's fine. And even though we can't hear more than Beth's guitar, you'll be able to hear your uncapoed guitar against Beth's capoed guitar. That's a beautiful, big, rich sound when the guitars are capoed differently. So your 1, 4, and 5 will look like G, C, and D, but they'll transpose to C, F, and G, respectively. We're going to play the Tennessee Mountain Fox Chase. I feel like this has become a pretty commonly played tune, even though it's a strange one, and it's unique to just one old recording from 1927, Vance's Tennessee Breakdowners, also on Slippery Hill. Thank you, Larry Warren. Super fun tune to play,
How many
though.
parts?
3 parts.
3 parts.
Yep.
And isn't one part supposed to be the dogs? And another part is supposed to be the fox.
Right. The music
The
does
hounds
kind of
and the
tell
fox.
a story,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
We played this tune kind of casually for a number of years, but we got re-inspired by it after Midwest Banjo Camp last year when it came up in a collaborative kind of panel conversation. Lucas Poole played a beautiful version of it on the banjo, and the 3 of us ended up collaborating some on it. We liked it so much. Lucas really dug the sounds Beth could get out of a high capo guitar, sounding even more like dogs, right?
Trying to sound like a dog, yeah.
Yeah, so here again I'll be using some second position, not because I need access to any higher notes up there, but because it keeps my better fingers in more active play. So maybe you'll see when I shift up and shift back, but don't feel like you have to do that. The whole thing plays fine out of first position on the fiddle. The A part is a little bit crooked. The B part is square. I think there's some crookedness entering the C part as well, but the chord changes will help you figure out which part is which. play. Don't you guys love that tune?
It's almost impossible to play slow.
I know it.
But we try. We try.
We try. Okay. Richard McEwen watching from Australia. Hi, Richard. Andy from Southern Indiana. Hi,
Hey, Andy. Nice to
He
see
remembers
you
it from Midwest Banjo.
Yeah.
Yep. He was there. He was there. Palmer Laux is watching.
Hello, Palmer.
Watch out, Palmer. We're going to mention you a little bit later on.
Yeah, we are.
The jam
We usually
program.
do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right, time for Cranberry Rock. Beautiful tune from Burl Hammonds. You know, this is a tune that I've played for a long time, and I had heard the Burl version a long time ago and didn't think to check it again, but since learning it, I've heard other people play it, sometimes square, sometimes crooked, and I got to thinking, did I square it up after hearing other people play it square and maybe Burl played it crooked? So I went back and I checked Slippery Hill. Burl does play it square.
Wow.
I was happy to discover. So if anybody out there knows where the crooked version of Cranberry Rock comes from, let us know in the comments. I'd be really curious to find out. I feel like Dave Bing plays it crooked, kind of elongated at the ends of the parts. Maybe he made it up that way, and he teaches a lot of people tunes and tune versions. But I'd love to know if there's another old recording of it somewhere played crooked.
We also, when we were practicing figured out that you could use what is the E minor?
The 6 minor.
You could use a 6 minor.
E minor shape, A minor
shape
in
this
actuality.
position. But we decided to omit it just for simplicity's sake.
Yeah.
But if you're intrigued, go back and try.
Yeah.
Add in an E
This is one
minor.
of those tunes that can be chorded so many different
6 minor.
nice ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just stuck with the 1, 4, and 5. Although you made an interesting choice in the B part that I love. The B part you leave unresolved. You
Oh,
go
yeah.
out on the 5 chord, and it just keeps rolling into the next part until we're done for the very last time, and then we'll finally resolve to
Oh, okay.
1. Yes.
Yeah, I did that.
You do, sure enough. All right, Cranberry Rock. Hope you enjoy this one. that fun?
Yeah.
Hope you all enjoy that. Let us know if you're more used to the square setting or the crooked setting. Brendan Doyle, hi Brendan,
Hey, Brendan.
says Burl was not always consistent in the way he played tunes, likely because he probably mostly played solo. Okay, so maybe both versions do come from him, but the one on Slippery Hill is the square one, which was a relief in a way.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other comments?
A lot of nice people out there.
Yeah.
Kelly Allen.
Hey, Kelly.
Loves some Cranberry Rock.
Okay, everybody. On Tuesday, everybody send Kelly a big happy birthday.
That's right. One of the best community builders in old-time music.
Absolutely.
One of our
And
favorite people.
Great cook to boot.
Yes. Oh, this is interesting. John Reddick. Hi, John. Jimmy Triplett plays it crooked, but not an old recording, and yet Jimmy Triplett is like Mr. West Virginia. Yeah. Okay. Oh, lots of good stuff for us to scroll back through. We will review all comments, as we always do, after the live stream is over. Okay, Rose Spinks could play Cranberry Rock forever. I'm so glad. It's just the sweetest tune.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for some Ed Haley. Ed Haley fans out there.
I'm amazed that you agreed to do an Ed Haley tune in
Well,
public.
it's
on
just
film.
such a great tune.
Yeah.
Such a great tune. And it's tricky to play in a way, but it's not the worst in the world. We're going to do Cherry River Rag. Cherry River Rag from Ed Haley. Now, this is another one that I choose to play up in the second position for a good part of it. I've heard people kind of do the A part between second and first position, and that just doesn't work for me. Every shift that I make is like a unique event, and I may hit the desired note or I may not. So limiting those shifts and using reliable fingers more of the time works a little bit better for me. If you're not familiar with this tune, kind of to hear it is to know it. It goes in pretty predictable ways. The chord changes are pretty predictable too. Maybe the weirdest thing about it is the way the parts resolve. A and B parts, to my hearing, have endings 1 and 2. And ending 1 lingers on 5 a little longer before resolving to 1. Ending 2 comes right back around to the resolution a little bit sooner. Let's do a demonstration in the A part. And the melody kind of wraps up earlier as a result. I don't feel like those chord structures are interchangeable if you're playing the melody the way that I do, and this is the way I remember Ed Haley playing the melody, and the B part likewise. So watch out for that if you're expecting the parts to repeat verbatim. They don't quite. Was there something else? Not in this one. This is just 1, 4, and 5.
Okay.
Even though it calls itself a rag, I don't know. It's really a rag. All right, let me get my bearing. Somewhere there. Should do the trick. We don't play in C that much. This is a good exercise.
Can you tell? It really is a good. It's only the second time in the almost 4 years we've done it in C.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But it's a good challenge, and there's some fabulous C tunes out there. So why not try, right? Not too fast.
the itchies.
Okay. Ah, Lucas Poole is watching. Hi, Lucas.
You must have, your ears were burning.
That's right. Wow, Jay Unger is watching now. Hi, Jay.
Goodness.
Jay likes playing Devil Went Down to Georgia in C, but in cross A tuning, second position. That is such a cool idea. I'm going to have to try that.
Oh.
Thanks, Jay. All right, Carla Kaufman. Hi, Carla.
Hey,
We're looking
Carla.
forward to seeing you in a few weeks up
Very
in
much so.
Minnesota.
Congratulations. We hear you have a new guitar.
That's right.
And the one I was playing at the beginning of the jam and at the end of the jam is the same size as your new guitar.
Yes, the other one.
The other one.
A little bit bigger than this one. Although it's funny with this camera problem we were having using the opposite camera from usual, the guitar just looks colossal. That lower bout. It's like, is this a Gibson Dove or something?
Yeah.
Is the Dove a guitar or is it the Hummingbird?
Both.
Yeah, with huge bottom bells. Whatever. Hopefully Facebook will bring that magic wand control back and we can use the regular camera next time. I'm really excited about this next tune. Bumblebee in a Jug. Bumblebee in a Jug. I learned this tune in kind of a roundabout way many years ago from the John Hartford album, Wild Hog and the Red
I
Brush.
think you better say it like John Hartford.
Well, I might. We'll see. We haven't gotten ready to play yet, and that's when he says what he does. And I just thought that was the coolest tune, and that was like before Slippery Hill, so I could only find out so much about the tune. So I learned it more or less the way that he played it, and then come to find out it's a George Lee Hawkins tune from Kentucky. And John Hartford took some liberties with it. I think George Lee Hawkins did it a little bit crooked and didn't really do it with three distinct parts. John Hartford played a three-part form, and I like the three-part form. I just think it's a little bit more to sink your teeth into, so I haven't gone back and revised the way that I play it. And ours is square as well, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. Tell me, those of you who are familiar with that album, if your understanding of the concept behind it is the same as mine. See, there were two albums John Hartford put out around the same time with his string band that contained Bob Carlin and Mike Compton, and it was a great sound. And the one was Speed of the Old Long Bow, and that was Ed Haley tunes. And the other one, Wild Hog and Red Brush, I believe the liner notes said were tunes that John believed were in Ed Haley's repertoire based on conversations he had had with other fiddlers from the area who knew Ed Haley, but that hadn't been recorded by Ed Haley.
Interesting.
Yeah, I might be misremembering that because it's been an awfully long time, but that's my feeling about what the difference between those albums was meant to be. If you know, let me know. But they're great albums, in any case. And we can really thank John Hartford, by the way, for giving the Ed Haley music the attention that it so deserved. All right, Bumblebee in a Jug, 3 parts, and the minor chord is going to come up in the first part and the third part. That's going to be Beth's E minor shape. If you're playing uncapoed, it'll be the A minor. Let's get the note right.
Are you doing it?
Bumblebee in a Jug, right?
Yeah.
especially.
I can.
So much fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
All right. Lynn Guerin is out there. Hi, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
Hope to see you.
Another great guitar player.
Yeah. All right. It doesn't say whether Palmer Laux is still watching with us, but maybe she's out there. Palmer Laux is a fabulous fiddler from the Philadelphia area. We see her every year at Clifftop and sometimes other places too, and we've learned a lot of tunes from her over the years. The next one on our list is an example of one of those. This is a Jack of Diamonds that has nothing to do with that cross-tune Drunken Hiccups Jack of Diamonds thing that's also so nice, but completely different kind of tune. This is C tune. It sort of goes where you expect. It's just so darn fun to play. I figured this was a Missouri tune. It really has that vibe to it, and Beth was making Missouri-inspired chord choices, but come to find out it's a Snake Chapman tune. How about that? Palmer did her own thing with it. I've kind of done my own thing with it from Palmer's example. But if you want to hear the original recording, check out Snake Chapman on Slippery Hill. It's pretty nice.
And it goes to the four much more quickly than you would think.
Well, you added some four chord to it from, I think, how we learned it from Palmer, yeah.
Okay.
But I think it goes kind of like you expect, right?
I'm kind of silly with it.
Yeah. Well, and you're really going to hear Beth enjoying the G shape thanks to the capo.
Yeah, I couldn't do this without it.
I mean, you could get through the chord changes, but it wouldn't be nearly as exciting.
Yeah.
All right, Jack of Diamonds. Hope you enjoy this one. I know we will. Jack of diamonds.
Very silly.
Very silly.
Very silly.
But that's okay, isn't it?
I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, Barb Zavon.
Hi, Barb Zavon.
Are we going to, like, see her in real life?
I think that may be happening before
Sooner
too
than
terribly
later?
long. With any luck.
Sooner than
Hi,
later.
Marilyn
Hey,
Branch.
Marilyn. Hope your eyes are doing okay.
Yeah.
See, I have to have the spectacles over here so I can read at any point. So, get ready.
Yep. All right. We referenced Missouri tunes earlier, although we didn't exactly play one. We're really going to play one now. As far as I know, this is going to be the Louisiana Hornpipe, which we learned from a recording of Jeff Seitz from St. Louis. Don't know where he got it. If you know anything about the Louisiana Hornpipe, let us know in the comments. It's pretty fun to play. It's got an interesting chord progression in the B part, and this is best we could figure out from the Jeff Seitz recording. It's not something we intended to make up. It's got the relative minor, 6 minor, her E minor shape, maybe your A minor shape. And it, yes, it's got the two. So her A shape, the D shape if you don't have the capo on, right? Why don't we go over that B part slowly and carefully?
And then level 3?
No, not this one.
Done? I
No,
can't keep
those are coming up.
They're coming up.
Yes. All right, B part of Louisiana Hornpipe, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3.
I'm sorry, do it again.
1, 2, 3. Sorry, Jeff Seitz. Maybe we need to go back and listen to that album again. It's been a while. And this tune has a lot of notes in it, so we're going to do our best to keep it on the slower side.
We're going to try.
Yes, we're going to work together. You're going to help me, right?
It's so funny that, you think when you're learning, I'll never be able to play fast and stuff, and then you learn as you go along that it's much harder to play slow than it is to play fast.
Sure can be. All right, here goes nothing, Louisiana Hornpipe.
favorite of all the tunes.
That's your favorite on this
Yeah,
list?
yeah.
Nice. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. All right. I see people on here replying to Palmer.
What's Palmer saying?
I don't see. Oh, Palmer has corrected the record about Jack of Diamonds.
Oh, yeah?
Palmer says it goes back to the Farr brothers, Farr. Snake Chapman got it from them.
Oh, I didn't know
Huh.
that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look for the Farr brothers. Interesting. Were they from Kentucky? Fascinating. Oh, a YouTube link of the Farr brothers' Jack of Diamonds has been posted in the comments. Thanks, Ian, for doing that. Can't wait to check it out later on. Okay.
Crazy.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
We love the folk process.
Yes,
though,
we do.
don't we? How these tunes travel from
Yeah.
person to person and keep evolving.
I mean, I think as you can see, you know, we're not at the end all be all knowledge with this stuff. You know,
No.
it's very much a village when it comes to putting this knowledge together.
Yes.
So we appreciate people letting us know more information or
Absolutely.
correcting mistakes or whatever. Because it's what is it? The folk process.
It is. All right, we're going to play two more numbers, still in the key of C, but with the uncapoed guitar, because they have some different chords in them. The next tune has been one of my favorites for a long time. It's another kind of funny one if you haven't heard it before. The L&N Rag. The L&N Rag, Louisville and Nashville Railroad, right?
I didn't know that.
This was recorded, I think, in the 20s by Alex Hood and his Railroad Boys. That recording I heard like on an anthology a long time ago, but happily it's also on Slippery Hill, so you can hear it as well. And it's one of those that has somebody, maybe a band member, maybe somebody not in the band, kind of talking a monologue over some of the tune and telling kind of a funny little story. That's entertaining to listen to.
Was it clean?
Yeah, it's totally clean. Totally clean. Kind of insulting and then backhanded complimenting a town in southeast Kentucky, Corbin, Kentucky. Good place to be from or good place to be away from was the question. But I wish I could find out more about Alex Hood and his Railroad Boys. I'm not sure which of the Railroad Boys was the fiddler or whether that was Alex Hood himself, but good fiddler. If you haven't heard that old recording, you should check it out. Now, L&N Rag has maybe a more typical rag style chord progression. It does not modulate, it stays in the key of C, but that 2 chord will be putting in an appearance as kind of a passing chord en route to 5, the way you'd expect. That shows up in the A part and in the B part. The B part also has, I guess it would be called a 3 chord, that's kind of where my music theory runs out. It's the E major chord in the key of C. Is that the 3 chord? I suppose, since the F is the
Carl, I
4.
should have got my chart out and plotted it.
Right. Would that even be in a chord family? I just don't know.
It's a
It's not in
relative.
it's not in
It's a
the C
distant
chord
relative,
family.
definitely.
Right. But that's not all. The B part has an unusual form of crookedness. So why don't we play one A part just to set the stage slowly, and then I want us to play the B part and kind of break it up a bit. All right. A part, L&N Rag. 1, 2, 3. Now, the B part, every time Beth hangs out on the 1 chord, the C shape, that phrase is going to be elongated. If you can imagine measures and bar lines going along, there are going to be these half measures attached to the end of each duration of C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. Back. Change. Back. Change. that lengthening with the one chord. And just wait a little longer than you expect for changing chords before moving to the next theme on the melody instrument. You'll be in good shape. I don't know any other crooked tune that works this way. I think it's really nicely organized as crooked tunes go. So let's enjoy playing the Ellen and Rag. crooked tunes. No, I think that one makes just great sense. All right. Oh, Joe from Minnesota is that's one of his favorite C tunes, and he likes throwing in the ragtime turnaround at the end, which I would love to properly learn. I know it when I hear it, but I don't totally know that sequence of chords. Maybe we can compare notes on that next month.
Hey, Jim Cooper.
Brendan Doyle loves the L&N. He has something more to say about it. As it happens, when he was 18, he studied at a photography school in the old L&N Railway building in Louisville. How about that?
Another anecdote for your book, Brendan.
That's right. If you don't write it, somebody else is going to have to do it for you.
You're going to have to get him a ghostwriter.
That's right. Can we check your tuning a little bit before we do the last one? I'll talk a little bit while we check your tuning. All right, we're going to end with a waltz, as we have kind of gotten in the habit of doing. I don't know that there are nearly as many C waltzes as there are waltzes in other keys, but we'd love to collect some more, so if you have any favorite old-time C waltzes, let us know some titles in the comments. The one that we're going to do, though, is a beautiful one that we learned from our friend Betty Vornbrock, beautiful fiddler, especially on waltzes.
He's under the weather.
Betty's under the weather. That's right. So let's all send well wishes Betty's way. This, I feel, is kind of a signature tune of hers. It's called the White Rose Waltz. I don't know anything about it other than that it sometimes turns up in the Texas-style fiddle canon, so maybe it's from out that way. That sounds some better. If you know anything about the White Rose Waltz, let us know that too in the comments. Tip jar links pinned to the top of the comment thread if you feel so inspired. Especially if Facebook gives us a little bit more control over the camera situation, I'm going to uninstall and reinstall the app, see if that makes a difference. We'll certainly be keeping these jams coming through the spring, and then we'll take a summer break, so tune back in. The next one will not be in the key of C. Don't know where it'll be yet, but someplace different. We've still got tunes on our large tune list that we haven't included in these jams, so we'll continue to freshen up the repertoire. That's nice, any way that we can. And as Beth mentioned toward the top of the program, if you would like a spreadsheet-style copy of this wonderful list, well, it'll be a PDF of a spreadsheet, that our good friend Tony Krempler made up of every title that's come up in our jam series so far. Let Beth know or let me know, and I can pass the word along to you, and she can send you a copy.
In Facebook Messenger, please.
Yes, and don't ask for it in a comment thread, please. It'll get buried.
I don't know yet, we haven't experimented, whether I can send a file through Messenger, so just in case, send me your email address.
Yes.
So I can email it to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of be a record of what's been played that might already be in your repertoires or on your radars if you'd like to compare versions or go back in time and jam along with us knowing kind of what's already been done. You'll still have to dig through my Facebook albums to find the right jam, but at least you'll know which date to look for, and once you're in the right jam, where to slide the slider time-wise to find it. Right? I think that's all we need to talk about. Do you have anything else to say?
No. Glad to have this way to connect with people until it's see you in real life.
Absolutely. It's so much fun in this off-season, especially. Hope to see some of you at the Mavotna Winter Festival in a month or so. We're really excited to be going out there. Or, that's right, the Greenleaf Old Time Fest in Oklahoma, where we'll be going in April. Never been to Oklahoma. Excited to experience a new part of the country. All right, the White Rose. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. everybody for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun tonight. Looking forward to scrolling back through the comments and taking it all in.
We hope to get the magic wand back.
I know. Thanks again for bearing with us and our suboptimal view. It also looks, in the iPad view, a little bit more pixelated than usual, which is not great. I feel like the image quality might be a little better the other way around, but we didn't want you to have to be watching us play left-handed when we're not normally that way. That seemed even more distracting, but we'll see if we can get to the bottom of this for next time.
Yeah.
Maybe we could sign me into Facebook from your phone.
Oh, there you go.
And then broadcast from it.
That would work.
If all else fails.
That would work.
If they don't take away the magic wand from your version.
Right. If anybody has any magic fixes, let us know.
Yeah. Reddit was saying that this is a pretty new issue. I was seeing posts just a week old. Yeah. People complaining about the lack of Facebook Live controls. So hopefully that means they might come back before the next time we do this.
We hope so.
But stay in touch. If we can help you in any way, we'd love to try. If you'd like a copy of this list, let Beth know. If you have tune suggestions for future jams, stick them in the comments anytime. Send them to us. We're kind of all ears on that front.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to try and figure out how to stop this in reverse. Oh, there's the finish button. I can't wave. The tip jar.
Yeah.
You're wanting to mention. I already mentioned
You mentioned it.
Yes.
I didn't hear you.
Yep. All good. Goodbye, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Happy Valentine's